the previous lecture, we saw how to create a new file, then add that file using git add command, and then commit it into the repository. Now here you must have noted that why we need to do this add thing. The reason behind that is because Git has a workflow where there are three things involved. The first being the working copy itself, which we explored yesterday. And when we made use of the command git add then a dot, which meant that all the changes that we have made should be staged. So when we say git add dot or git add then the name of the file, that means that we are putting that particular file or all set of changes to the staging environment. Now from the staging environment, when we make use of the command git commit -m and then the message, that means that we are now putting that thing into the repository. So it has these three layers when we are working with Git. Now let's go ahead and take an example. So in our previous lecture, we created a file, and here I'm just terming it as a file.txt. Whenever you are making a change to this file, that change set is available for Git, and when you do this git add file.txt, that gets moved to the staging environment. And from the staging environment, when you run this command git commit -m and then the message, it goes to the repository. Now here we need to understand a couple of things. When I'm pushing this file from working copy to staging, that means I'm pushing certain set of changes, and those set of changes are uniquely identified by Git using a ID. That ID is generated using the SHA algorithm, that is SHA1 algorithm. And if I have to show you, so here when we are viewing the log, you can see that when the commit was made, this was the ID generated. So this unique ID is generated, and every time you commit something into your repository. And this value that gets generated is primarily connected with all the stuff that you have mentioned, like author, date, and the comment that you have made and the list of files that it contains. So using all those things together, it generates a checksum value, which is this unique ID. So here in example, we can say that, certain set of changes has been pushed to repository, but those set of changes are identified uniquely by this ID that we just saw. So that was the workflow that Git follows or Git follows, and keeping this thing in mind literally helps you in understanding how the whole thing works.